Today we're speaking about a topic about Rabbi Yosef Palacci. It's his Yahrzeit today, right? And it's always good to learn something, to speak about the Chacham. You have to understand who he was. He was one of the biggest rabbis in generations. I'm not talking about generation. For sure the biggest in his generation. That's for sure. There's no question about it. In generations. I'm talking about, you have to understand something. He learned Torah. He writes in one of his sefarim, in his intro, heaven and earth could testify that till the age of 19 years old, he didn't waste any time from learning. You know what that is? If you would go from now to your whole life, who knows if as much learning as he did from till the age of 19, if we could even accomplish what he did at the age of 19. You understand? What happened? Thank you. What happened at the age of 19? I'll tell you. The rabbis came and spoke. The rabbis, they said, we need you. They needed him to run one of the towns, one of the towns in Izmir, Turkey, and he became the rabbi over there. And happens to be being the fact that he was the chief. He became the chief. He would write how busy he was. He would write in one of his sefarim. He said, "I'm so busy today. I couldn't even open up. It was so hard for me to learn that this thing came up and that thing that came up." And he writes, anybody who's osek in the tzibur, it's like you learn Torah. It's Baruch Hashem. I have some learning, being the fact that I'm dealing with the tzibur. He was dealing with the tzibur from the age of 19 to the end of his passing, but he kept on learning. He didn't stop learning. He was always learning. He wrote over 70, 80 sefarim. You have to understand how many sefarim that is. You know what I'm saying? He wrote sefarim. One time, the government official, basically, he blamed the Jews about something, and he called the chief rabbi in, and he basically pushed the chief rabbi. That night, the government official died. And everybody understood why. You're touching the rabbi? You're crazy. Pushing the rabbi? You're crazy. What are you thinking? You have to understand, if a person messes around with Talmidei Chachamim, you're starting up with fire. Guaranteed, by the way. Mark my words. Look at anybody who messes around with a Talmid Chacham, if you don't get Mehilah from the Talmid Chacham, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. So make sure. People play games. They think there's that. He knows like me. He's a Chacham. He's a Chacham. Be careful. Torah says, the pasuk says, "Halo ko devari ke'esh neum Hashem," which means the words of the Torah is fire, and the Chacham has in him fire. He has the fire of the Torah, and if you're starting with fire, has shalom, you're gonna get it. Has shalom. So therefore, I'm telling you in advance. Why am I telling you that? Because a lot of times you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu defends the honor of Talmidei Chachamim. How? 3 places. One place was with Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer one time came and he went to pray for rain, and it didn't rain. So he went to be Hazan, and it didn't rain. Came Rabbi Akiva, he prayed, and rain came down. So what is everybody saying? What do you think everybody's saying after that? What do you think? Rabbi Akiva is bigger than Rabbi Eliezer. HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzmo. Hashem sent a heavenly voice, a bat call from Shemaim. You know what that is? He's changing the whole things. No, he's not bigger. It's not because Rabbi Akiva is bigger than Rabbi Eliezer. It's because Rabbi Akiva is ma'avir al midotav. That's why he got answered first. But you see how important it is to protect a Talmid Chacham's honor. There was that's why it's very important. If you see somebody shambling a Talmid Chacham, and you know the person's Talmid Chacham, you have to be the one to defend. Right? There was on the news one time about the person, he was kidnapping a kid. It was nonsense, and it was going over. So people were speaking about it. Anybody who told me about it, I said it's not true. You're not allowed to believe it. It's asur to believe it. I know him. He's a big Talmid Chacham. It's impossible that it happened. And guess what? 3 days later, the news came out. Oh, it was a misunderstanding, this, that. People came with me. How'd you know before the news came out? I told him I have Ruach HaKodesh. Obviously, I don't have Ruach HaKodesh. I told him like that. I said, it's obvious. Because you can't blame it. Talmid Chacham, you can't. It says, you see Talmid Chacham doing something, you rest assured that night he definitely did tshuva, definitely is clean. You have to understand what we're talking about. We're talking about people in the league. And therefore, you have to be very careful with that. Second thing is, there was a story about Rav Huna. One of the stories was, there was a whole fire in the town. They came to the town of Rav Huna, no fire. Everyone's like, wow, Rav Huna, look, because of you. Shamayim, they made, anybody who was thinking like that, they had a dream that night. Gemara says this. They had a dream. What was the dream? It was because of Rav Huna. It was because of somebody else that had a schut. So why do they have to have the dream? Because for Rav Huna, you don't need his schuyot for that. You don't need him to stop a fire. You can use his schuyot for many other things. You understand what I'm saying? Why was to defend the honor of Tamei Chacham. And therefore, if you person, heaven forbid, Haz Shalom, 1,000,000 times, if you see, first of all, you don't mess around with Tamei Chamim. Tamei Chamim, you're telling you're playing with fire if you mess around. Especially speak Lashon Hara about them. Especially when you see Shem Ra about them. If you hear something bad about them, excuse me, I don't want to hear. Tamei Chacham, I don't want to hear. Don't tell me. So people like juice. They juice it. Oh, I have a sick juice on this on the rabbi. Oh, the rabbi? What? No way. Let me hear. No. You want to say something bad about the rabbi? Don't tell me. You should know you get Olam Haba for this. You get Gan Eden for this. 100%. Hashem will reward you for this because you're protecting the Torah. It's very important. Kavod the Torah, respecting the Torah is very, very important. And that's why you have to be very, very careful. And this is one of the lessons that we're taking out today.